The councillors may be going on strike after a range of proposals regarding allowances was rejected by the Department of Communities. Councillors have received an increase in their basic allowance of 5%, taking it to £18,329. But the National Association of Councillors want more. They wanted to go up to 21,935. It's not enough for these councillors. TUV Belfast councillor Ron McDowell has labelled strike proposals as outrageous and indefensible. Why, Ron? Good morning.
Good morning, Stephen. And I'm surprised you even heard about this story, considering it was announced.
We have our wee finger on the pulse, let me assure you. Anything you lot are up to, we're watching. Don't you worry about it.
And we're here to give account of ourselves. And you have to be quite concerned about the prospect of Belfast City councillors in Armagh, right across Northern Ireland, threatening to go on strike. Well, a whole range of levels, but probably the first level is this an attempt by politicians at setting their own salary? One of the things that the independent financial review panel was set up for amongst MLAs was to take away that decision making and to set your own salary and to give yourself a pay rise. And yet I think the public would look on potential strike action by councillors as an attempt at politicians on setting their own wages. The second thing, and the second reason why I think it's outrageous, is that this is a part-time job. This is supposed to be expenses costs. It's for your time and your travelling expenses. And all of the councillors who are in Belfast City Council, in Armagh, and Newton Abbey are generally employed in other walks of life. So this is a supplement to their daily salary, and to get up to £21,000 of a supplement to your salary is getting into extraordinary money, and I don't think the public will, even if it is at council level.
Is it not time-consuming being a councillor?
It's absolutely time-consuming. It's all-consuming.
Why are they not paid for it? You're saying this year we get expenses. Why is it not full-time?
It infringes on every walk of life, because at council level, it's slightly different to the other tiers of government. At council level, you're called from among the people to be their voice, as all politicians are. But at council level, it's a municipal affair, looking after bins, looking after the civic issues, and it's supposed to be a part-time role. It's not a full-time calling, it's a part-time role. And people like myself, who have been voted into it, never looked at the salary before they were elected. They were elected for the privilege of serving the people. How much am I getting? Well, last year the salary for me was £15,900, and that was like the 40% tax.
Well, it says here councillors have received an increase in their basic allowance of 5%, taking it to £18,329.
Yeah, but for the last calendar year, Belfast City Council paid out £15,900, and that was what I was on. And of course, if you're the chair of a committee or the vice chair of one of the numerous committees, there's
you get a wee top up, do you?
Oh, you get a good top up.
What do you get as a wee top up?
Yeah, it's a couple of £100 extra a month there as well, and of course the Lord Mayor, which is a very demanding role, full-time role, gets a recognition of that as well.
Do you think these councillors are within Belfast City Council, and you're part of it? Do you think it's delivering? I know it's delivering stickers on our bins. Telling us that if we don't have our lid down, they won't empty it. Do you think people think that the council's actually delivering?
I think people would be scathing of the council. And I think one of the issues is that you have councillors who want to be full-time political activists. And that's not what Belfast City Council is set up to do. Now, in my time, the councillors have been debating US planes landing at Aldergrove. They've been wanting to send letters about the Irish presidential election. They've been getting involved in Gaza and the Ukraine-Russia war. That's not the role of Belfast City Councillors. Belfast City Councillors is looking after the municipal issues, making sure your bin's lifted, making sure your streets clean and tidy, and Belfast City Council can't deliver on that. The councillors waste their time on all these peripheral issues rather than focusing on what they were elected to do.
It's interesting. We can get your views this morning, 03030 80 55 55. And councils pass or don't pass planning decisions, don't they?
Councils do pass planning decision. Within Belfast, there's a planning committee. There's a licensing committee for all the pubs and clubs. They have a committee for the city growth and regeneration, which is the building up of the Belfast City.
It's quite a lot of power.
Infrastructure. It has quite a lot of power. It does have quite a lot of power. And the whole reason of a councillor being there is because we can't send all of the people of Belfast to council. So we send our councillors, and that is a privilege at council level. We have another job. I have another job, and it's a privilege to be sent to Belfast City Council, and money shouldn't be the motivation.
What's your other job?
So I'm a manager in aerospace.
Are you?
I'm a manager in aerospace, yes.
Jim gives you a wee bit of time off to work in aerospace.
Jim's a hard taskmaster and gives me very little time off. But it's all about balancing your work expectation. And a lot of the other councillors who are in the City Hall will have other jobs. An awful lot of them will be full-time councillors already, employed through their local constituency office. So they already have another income. But if you raise that to £21,000 a year, that's almost the salary for some people on its own, let alone an expenses cost.
21,930, 22 grand they're looking, short of 65 quid.
And the average wage in the UK at the minute, or Northern Ireland, something like £34,000 at the minute. So there are people who's going to be underneath that average, working full time for £20,000, and we're going to offer £21,000. And don't forget, councillors are management. They're the managers of Belfast City Council. They get all the privileges that comes with a managerial position, and they're out and they're potentially going to threat that they're going to go out and strike. I don't think that works at all at any level.
What do you reckon of these, just because you're in politics, Ron? I know I'm taking you off on a tangent, but sure, that's the nature of the Nolan show. This interview that the Commissioner for Standards, the outgoing Commissioner for Standards, is given, which is being quite critical. She scrutinises the politicians, but they have shaped the terms of reference. They've shaped what she can and can't scrutinise quite strictly. She's also paid per hour, so therefore it's not a job that comes with what might attract someone that is at the top of their game. So you don't have pension rights, you don't have holiday rights, sickness rights. Isn't it interesting that the politicians restrict the rights and the terms of reference when it comes down to someone scrutinising them? Do they think the public are stupid?
I think if they can get away with it, Stormont has proven that they'll get away with it. Our own MLA, Timothy Gaston, was on a scrutiny committee that had a debate whether it was allowed to scrutinise decisions made by the executive a wee while ago, and that rumbled on for about a year or two, that particular fallout. But we also have, I mentioned, how politicians shouldn't be setting their own wages. The independent financial review panel that is supposed to set the salary for MLAs, of course that decision has to be passed by the MLAs. So this is something that Stormont sees across. Keep down that scrutiny, then they'll keep it down.